protecting Social Security.
And Social Security.
Yeah. And Social Security disability, yes. Yes.
And
I will absolutely go to the wall to protect one of the most successful programs this country has ever had. I will highlight, again, it's not just what, it's how. Who is trying to get rid of our Social Security, and how do we fight that? So who is trying to get rid of our Social Security? Is a handful of hedge fund managers that want to extract more wealth from our society. How do we fight that? We raise up our voices. We tell stories. That, to me, is the way we're going to win, and we are winning on Social Security as a public matter. The only way we lose on Social Security is because of the way campaigns are funded, not because of the way people are thinking. Yeah. Hey, hi, how are you?
Just a quick follow-up.
Yeah.
We talked about disability, and you also mentioned another thing about dental care is you can't be employed when you don't have a mouthful of teeth. And I work in the disability community, and that's a big barrier to employment. Additionally, folks on disability, the investment not only is great. Every dollar we spend in VR programs and things like vocational rehabilitation programming, et cetera, yields $7 in a return. So we know that's an area we have to protect, but to even go beyond that, the quality of services we see in New York State is happening is the privatization as well of the services and the subcontracting to not-for-profits. And there's nothing wrong with not-for-profits, but the quality of the jobs, quality of the income, the loyalty of the job, the professional development, et cetera, is lost and diminished when we subcontract all of our, what used to be state-provided services to nonprofits, and we're doing the same thing on the federal level. So would you speak to that as well as the privatization crunch and retaining the public sector and the job security that's come with that as it relates to?
Are we allowed to have running mates for Congress?
Public sector uses.
Yes, absolutely correct. So in the private sector, what's happening, just to make it, this is a meta problem. In the private sector, people are getting fired with good benefits and then rehired without benefits. That's wrong. That's wrong. That is not a thriving economy. The economy works when people have the resources they need to have dignity. In the public sector, we're saying we're outsourcing so as not to provide the same benefits and to create a much higher level of insecurity. And the overall effect is reduced quality of life and then this radical insecurity. And let's talk about this real effect of insecurity. Insecurity has health impacts. Insecurity affects your relationship with your spouse. Insecurity affects your relationship with your children. You're angrier if you don't know that you're going to have a job the next day. There's this effort recently to strip out all these different parts of an economy and pretend we're just creating efficiencies in all these different areas. It's not working. And we have to treat people as people, not as little robots that can be outsourced. Yeah.
Zephyr, can you call on him?
Oh, yes.
Change his position.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you for everything you've been doing in the past. I'd also like to say, how are we going to, as a community, reach out to the right side of our party and the left side of our party, as well as get Republicans on board to win? Because we have to have everybody.
Yes.
Because working on the last two cycles for Congress, we were not as successful at that as we should. So how do we do that?
Yeah. You have like 3 questions embedded in there. So the first thing I'll say is that I believe that most people, I believe this district is an independent district. That's the beating heart of it. Yes, they're registered Republicans and registered Democrats. The level of registered independents or unaffiliated is very high, but even Republicans and Democrats will vote. So people here don't like being put in a box. That's step 1. I think independence is key, and showing that you are independent of both traditional party mechanisms, which I have, is actually important. So I've walked into VFWs, diners, at parades, which is, I'm a campaigner at heart. I love that stuff. Kim, can we just do another stop this morning? But I will tell you that honestly, they might remember me as that person who stood up to Andrew, and that opens some doors. Second, I have been a major advocate of the opt-out movement here in New York, and opposed to Common Core high stakes testing. There are a lot of Democrats who are opposed to that, but it's not a Democratic or Republican issue. And I have already found, even in the last 2 months, which doesn't surprise me because I've been working for a while, but that there are Republican women, Republican men who say, I'm going to support you because of your support for teachers and parents. And what I find is that once you open the door, people want to have real conversations. If they feel the door is shut because you're stuck in one particular box, they won't have the conversation. But the trick is to open the door. But the other is a deep belief that I have, and I have a love affair with democracy, which is my life. That's what I believe in. I really believe people are smart. I really believe people have something to say, even people that I really disagree with. And I believe that if you can show that, not just me, but we all can show that, this whole district turns blue pretty quick.